So consciousness does survive death. There is a spirit world, and there is a life between lives. How do you choose another body to return to Earth? What is a life purpose? Is there choice and free will?
64,000 is the median number of words per book. Average person reads about 200 words per minute. Simple math will tell us that is one book in 320 minutes. To accomplish this in 7 days, numbers say you would have to read for 45 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button, like, comment, and share. Enjoy.
Welcome to Season 9 of the Book of the Week series. My name is Igor. For years I've walked and I've listened. This series is the record of that discipline. Not just sharing books, but sharing a method to cut through the noise. Today we listen to Journey of Souls, Case Studies of Life Between Lives by Michael Newton, PhD. So for the next few minutes, let this be an invitation to slow down, to reduce the noise, to make a choice to listen. This is a book which presents a order and wisdom rising from many spiritual energy levels. Most recent groundbreaking discoveries that reveal for the first time the mystery of life in the spirit world after death on Earth. Stick around till the end. This season I'm not just sharing a tool, I'm sharing the foundational level. I'll show you how to identify the single most important frequency in all the noise of your life, the innate human need that is driving your decisions, your behavior, and your sense of overwhelm or fulfillment. It is the first critical step on what I call the listener's path. But first, let's listen to the past. Let's listen to Journey of Souls, Case Studies of Life Between Lives. So how is it possible to reach the soul through hypnosis? Visualize the mind as having 3 concentric circles, each smaller than the last and within one another, separated only by layers of connected mind consciousness. The first outer layer is represented by the conscious mind, which is our critical, analytical, reasoning source. The second layer is the subconscious, where we initially go in hypnosis to tap into the storage area for all the memories that ever happened to us in this life and in former lives. And the third, the innermost core, is what we are now calling the superconscious mind. This level exposes the highest center of self, where we are an expression of a higher power. The superconscious houses our real identity, augmented by the subconscious, which contains the memories of the many alter egos assumed by us in our former human bodies. The superconscious may not be a level at all. It actually might be the soul itself. The superconscious mind represents our highest center of wisdom and perspective, and all of the information about life and death comes from this source of intelligent energy. So what are the similarities of afterlife recollection between people reporting on their out-of-body experiences as a result of a temporary physical trauma and a subject in hypnosis recalling death in a past life? So both find themselves floating around their bodies in this strange way, trying to touch solid objects that dematerialize in front of them. Both kinds of reports say they are frustrated in their attempts to talk to living people who do not respond. Both state they feel a pulling sensation away from the place where they died or experience actually relaxation and curiosity rather than fear. All of these people report a euphoric sense of freedom and brightness around them. Now, this is often referred to as the tunnel effect, and it has become well known with the public. Although there are dying people who find acceptance to be more difficult than resignation. Caregivers working around the dying say that almost everyone acquires a peaceful detachment near the end. Now, Newton believes dying people are given access to supreme knowledge of internal consciousness, and then this frequently shows on their faces. Many of these people realize something universal is out there and it's waiting for them, and it will be good. See, a curious phenomenon about the spirit world is that important people in our lives are always able to greet us, even though they may already be living another life in another body. Usually at this juncture in the soul's passage, the carry-on luggage of Earth's physical and mental burdens are actually diminishing for two reasons. First, the evidence of a carefully directed order and harmony in the spirit world has brought back the remembrance of what we have left behind before we chose life in physical form. And second, there is the overwhelming impact of seeing people we thought we will never meet again after they died on Earth. See, when orientation is upsetting to us, Newton finds an underlying reason is the abruptness with which the soul is once again, bam, in possession of all the past knowledge. After physical death, unencumbered by the human body, the soul has a sudden influx of perception. The stupid things we did in life hit us hard in orientation. Michael sees more relaxation and greater clarity of thought as he moves his subjects further into the spirit world. Now, souls are created in a positive matrix of such love and wisdom that when soul starts to come to a planet like planet Earth and joins the physical beings who have evolved from a primitive state, the violence is a shock. Humans have the raw negative emotion of anger and fear as an outgrowth from their fear connected to the survivals back all the way to the Stone Age. Orientation conferences with our guides allow us to begin the long process of self-evaluation between lives. Soon there will be another conference, this time with more master beings in attendance. See, in a quiet, relaxed state of hypnosis, with the continuity on all mental levels, Newton's subjects report that the initial orientation sessions with their guides prepares them to go before a panel of superior beings. And most refer to them as a council of masters or elders. All soul evaluation conferences, be it with our guides, with our peers, with a panel of masters, they do have one thing in common: the feedback and past life analysis we do receive in terms of judgment is based upon the original intent of our choices as much as the actions of a lifetime. Our motivations are questioned and criticized, but not condemned in such a way as to make us suffer. The observation Newton hears about the nature of the spirit world while entering the staging area has definitely changed from those first impressions of layering and foggy. It is as if the soul is now traveling through the loosely wound arms of a mighty galactic cloud into a more unified celestial field, while the spirits do hover in the open arena of the staging area, preparing for further transport out to prescribed spaces. I actually enjoyed listening to the excitement in the voices of these subjects. They're dazzled by their world, the one spread out before them, and believe that somewhere within lies the nucleus of creation. Now, group placement is determined by the soul level. After physical death, a soul's journey back home ends with demarcation into the space reserved for their own colony, as long as they are not a very young soul or isolated for some other reason. The souls represented in these cluster groups are intimate old friends who have about the same awareness level. Now, societal conditions on Earth cannot be compared. The differences in light and frequency, in measuring knowledge, in souls, they all come from the same energy source. Souls are fully integrated by thought. If all levels of performance in the spirit world were on just one grade level, well, then souls would have a poor system of training. Now, classification of soul development is intended to be neither socially nor intellectually elitist. Soul, in a high state of advancement, they're often found in humble circumstances on Earth. By the same token, people in the upper strata of influence in our society are by no means in a blissful state of soul maturity. Often just the reverse is true. See, regardless of the method used, we all have the capacity to send out far-reaching thought waves from our higher consciousness. Every person's thoughts represent a mental fingerprint to guides, marking who and where we are throughout our lives, especially in great periods of great stress. See, most people feel presence of someone watching out for them. We may not be able to describe this, what is this, who is this, but it is there nonetheless. Michael suggested to his subjects that if the spirit world seems round to them and appears to curve when they do travel rapidly as souls, this could represent a finite, enclosed sphere. They actually deny the idea of any dimensional boundaries, yet offer little else except metaphors. Case 23 says the spirit world itself is the source of creation. Some have called this place the heart or the breath of God. Case 22 defines the space of souls as a fabric. Newton had other subjects give the spirit world a quality of the folds of a seamless dress swishing back and forth. They sometimes feel the effects of gently rippling motions from light energy, which has been described as waves or rings rolling outward from a disturbed pool of water. Normally, the geography of soul spaces has a smooth and open consistency to people in superconsciousness. Without displaying the properties of gravity, temperature, pressure, matter, or a time clock associated with a chaotic physical universe. However, when Michael attempts to characterize the entire spirit world as void, people in hypnosis resist this notion. Although his cases are unable to fully explain the place where the souls live, they are all outspoken about its ultimate reality for them. A subject in trance doesn't see the soul world as being near or far away from our physical universe. Nevertheless, in a curious way, when comparing their experiences as souls to life on Earth, they do portray spiritual substances being light or heavy, thick or thin, and large or small. It does seem an enigma that the knowledge of who we really are as souls is so difficult for many of us to reach. By now, I'm sure anyone who reads this book has discernment that even in a superconscious state, we actually do retain the ability to observe ourselves with the portion of the critical center of our conscious mentality. Now, assisting clients in reaching their inner selves by linking all facets of the mind is the most important part of Newton's work in hypnotherapy. Many great thinkers in history believe that the soul can never be fully homogeneous with the human body, and that the humans have two intellects. Michael considers human ideas and imagination as emanating from the soul, which provides a catalyst for the human brain. Now, how much reasoning power we would have without souls is impossible to know, but he feels that the attachment of souls to humans supplies us with insight and abstract thought. Newton says the soul is offering humans a qualitative reality subject to conditions, to heredity and environment. Famous philosopher Kant wrote that human brain is only a function of consciousness, not the source of knowledge. It does seem really heavy burdened that in every life a soul must search all over again to find its true self, now in a different body. However, some light is allowed through the blackout of amnesia by spiritual masters who are not really indifferent to our plight. Once birth has taken place, the union of spirit and flesh has been fully solidified into a partnership. The immortal soul then becomes the seat of perception for the developing human ego. The soul brings the spiritual force that is the heritage of infinite consciousness. Although it has been said that the souls can be confined by humans in trouble, they're never trapped. Besides, leaving at the moment of death, souls may also come and go when the body is sleeping, in deep meditation, or under an anesthetic in surgery. The soul's absence is much longer in cases where there's severe damage and coma. See, this coupling of an intelligent life force before birth brings us full circle from that death scene. One of the most troublesome concerns of all people who want to believe in something higher than themselves is the causality of so much negativity in the world. Evil is one of the primary examples. When asking subjects how a loving God could permit suffering, surprisingly, there are few variations in their responses. Newton's cases report our souls are born of a creator that places a totally peaceful state deliberately out of reach. So we will strive harder. We learn from wrongdoing. The absence of good traits exposes the ultimate flaws in our nature. That which is not good is testing us. Otherwise, we would have no correlation to better the world through ourselves and no way to measure advancement. The most significant benefit actually comes from knowing we have a home of everlasting love waiting for us. And it is actually being receptive to the higher spiritual power within our minds. The awareness that we do belong somewhere is reassuring, and it does offer us peace. Not merely as a haven from conflict, but to actually unify ourselves with the universal mind. And there you have it. Journey of Souls, Case Study of Life Between Lives by Michael Newton, PhD. Now, if this moment of focused listening brought you any value, any clarity, or simple peace, I ask you to do 3 things that cost you nothing but help this signal reach others. Number 1, like this video, so the algorithm shares it with more seekers. Number 2, share it, at least with one person who needs to hear this message. And number 3, subscribe to stay in this channel of focused insight. The book, link to this book is in the description below, so you buy it, you never stop learning, especially learning about yourself, because the greatest history, the greatest seeker's destiny is actually your own. Your first step on the path, gift yourself with 10 minutes of self-listening. Take the free definitive human needs test on my website. It will actually reveal the core need driving your life's narrative. That revelation is your first layer, so find the link below. And when you are ready to move from understanding to artistry, to master the skills of self-awareness and self-management, social awareness and relationship management, that actually turn insight into impact, you will explore my Master of Life Awareness program. That is the journey, and it all begins with listening. Thank you. Love and respect.